Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about how to make Meseta because I know a lot of people have the same question. They're saying everyone's going for the LC capsules, they're not a tradable capsule anyway, so there's nothing to sell on the market. How do I make money? But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate to subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the number one tip I can give everyone is to actually look at the top sellers to see what items are actually selling for a lot of money and which are the hot items. Basically, you can look at the top 30 items over here and you're gonna know, okay, so these are the items that people are actually buying. For example, the banana boat over here, which is going for 800,000. Do not be deceived by the number over here. This is the average price. So what you want to do is you actually want to click into it to see what the current price is going for. So that's really important. However, it seems like the top 30 items over here are all actually cosmetic items. So that's not a good thing for a free to play because you can't farm for cosmetic items. You know, you have to swipe in order to get any of these items. So what we have to do is we actually have to go over here to the materials tab, and these are the capsules. So these are the capsules that you want to be farming for in order to sell because they go for a lot of money and they're actually selling in quantity because they're in the top sellers tab. So the number one most selling item is Hal Finales. So Hal Finales are currently going for 1.1 million. This is currently on a downward trend, so maybe you might not want to sell them immediately if you have a bunch of Hal Finales, and you might want to wait for it to rebound until it gets back up to, like, I don't know, 1.2 million, 1.3 million, somewhere around that range, and then you can consider selling. Then of course we have the Gladiosouls over here at 2.2 million, then we have the Gigas Mastes at 1.8 million, this actually went down a little bit, and then we also have the High Ale Dominos over here at 2.8 million, so there are plenty of items to sell. However, the main one that's actually going to be making us the most money is actually going to be the Spirit Triplble over here. This is currently going for 270,000. There's one person undercutting at 220,000, but the average price, as you can see here, 270, 280, 290, and then it jumps up to 360. So we can basically say that the average price is probably going to be 290,000 to 300,000. That is probably the average price for the Spirit Triplble. So Spirit Triplble is going to be our biggest money maker because it is the easiest to farm. However, before I show you how to make Spirit Triplble, we need to go to the second page over here. Of course, we've got the XD capsules. You can never go wrong with XD capsules. However, remember, we are getting the AC support scratch in 2 days. So that means there will be a surplus of XD capsules flowing into the market, so you might not want to buy any of these right now. However, the one that I want to bring to everyone's attention is the Guard Triplble. This is another very high value item. As you can see, it's also going for 220,000. Sure, it's not going for as much as Spirit Triplble, which is 300,000, but nevertheless, this is also a very good source of income. Basically, you're looking at all of the triplebles that give you 3% potency. For example, Stamina Triplble over here, it goes for a lot less, 110, it's a lot less than the Guard Triplble at 220, but the nice thing about it is they use different capsules to craft all of these different augments. Then we can go to page 3 over here. We've got Irati Souls at 16,000, not so much. Aegis Soul at 20,000, almost 30,000 actually on average, so that's okay. Then we've got more XD capsules over here. We've got the Gigas capsules, which have gone down in price a little bit. And then we've got even more XD capsules, Starl Souls, which are going for 80,000 now. And we've got Triplble 2s also going for 104,000. So we've got a lot of items over here that we can actually farm for to make money. But as we saw earlier, basically Hal Finale, Gladiasoul, Gigas Maste, and High Ale Domina, these are the ones that are going in bulk because everyone wants these, especially people who are going for the true endgame augments. However, as I said earlier, the Spirit Triplebles are going to be our main source of money. And the reason for this is because when we come to the item lab over here, exchange augment materials and augment capsules, you can see right here, in order to make Spirit Triplble, you're going to need Spirit Might, Spirit Precision, Spirit Technique. You get all of these in combat zones. You simply just farm in a combat zone and you're going to be flooded with these. However, the main bottleneck is going to be the Formido Fusa over here, which you get from Duel Quest Phase 1. But the nice thing is these 3 items over here have no value by themselves. So for example, the Spirit Might, if we look at Spirit Might and we go check the market right now, Spirit Might is only going for 2,000 or 3,000 Meseta. So what you can actually do in order to maximize your gains is not even farm at combat zones and just straight up buy all of these from from the marketplace and only spam Duel Quest Phase 1 in order to get the Fusias over here so that you could constantly craft the Spirit Triplble and sell that for 300,000 a pop. So as you can see over here, because I only have 15 of these Fusia capsules, I can craft 5 of these Spirit Triplables. However, they're going for 300,000 each, so that's 1.5 million right here. And what's even better is if we look at the Guard Triplble over here, they use different capsules. They use Guard Might, Guard Precision, and Guard Technique. However, again, you're going to need the Fusia capsules, which you can only get from Duel Quest Phase 1. So again, if you farm a ton of combat zones, you're going to be able to craft multiple Triplble capsules. You're going to be able to craft the Guard Triplble, the Spirit Triplble, the Stamina Triplble, the Def Triplble. You can craft all of these and sell them onto the player market and make a significant amount of Meseta. However, this does require you to be able to actually clear the Duel Quest. So as you can see here, you can either farm Duel Quest Phase 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, or 1-4. You can farm any of them. Personally, I like 1-3 because AMS is really easy to fight for a Braver since I can constantly spam counters. However, it does have the most HP. I think the most efficient one to farm is probably going to be Duel Quest Phase 1-2 because the Worm is relatively easy to fight. Sure, it does shoot out quite a lot of projectiles, so you do need to learn its rotation or learn its attack pattern in order to avoid a lot of the damage. But as you can see here, if you're able to get an S rank, you get 3 of these Fusia capsules every single run. So in order to make your Duel Quest runs even easier, I highly recommend that you actually use the Defi Capsules. Now remember, Duel Quest Phase 1s require the Defi P1 capsules. So as you can see here, I've got the Ares over here, the Ceres, the Plutos, the Makames, as well as the Hamas. However, a pro tip is if you actually decide to use your new 9-star rarity weapon, you can keep your LC capsules, your XD capsules, whatever on this weapon. And because your 9-star rarity weapon actually gives you crit rate plus 100%, you can save a lot of money on your Duel Quest armors because you don't need the Plutos as well as the Makames, for example, because the Plutos gives you crit chance, but you have a 100% crit rate with your weapon already, so you don't need this. And then the Makames gives you floor potency, but you're critting all the time already, so floor potency doesn't play any part over here. So you can actually save a little bit of Meseta because you won't need these expensive Defi capsules over here, and you can replace them with something else. So if you want to make a lot of money, you want to spam the Duel Quest Phase 1s over here. Basically 1-2 is the one I recommend, and you're just going to be spamming this over and over and over to get a ton of these Fusia capsules, and then you're just going to be crafting the Spirit Triplble, the Guard Triplble, all of the different Triplables that give you 3% potency, throwing them onto the market and making a killing. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you could also focus on the high demand capsules such as the Gladiasoul, the High Ale Domina, Gigas Mastes, as well as Hell Finales, because remember, the Gladiasoul over here requires the Star L Soul. You get this capsule by simply defeating starless enemies, and it just so happens that starless enemies spawn in Rezel Forest rank 4, Banford Laboratories rank 5, as well as Mount Magnus rank 5. So you farm in any 3 of these combat zones over and over and over, and you're gonna get a ton of those Star L Souls, as well as all of those different materials needed to craft all of your Triplables. So it's a win-win situation. You're killing multiple birds with one stone. However, let's say combat zone farming isn't your thing and you prefer something a little bit more challenging. If you are geared enough and if you have a pre-made party, you can spam Sign of the Planet Breaker. Now this is slightly more difficult. It's actually significantly more difficult. However, you are guaranteed Star Souls every single run as long as you complete it, of course. But nevertheless, this is also another great way to get a bunch of Star Souls because this is a guarantee versus the combat zones where you are at the mercy of RNG. And then on top of all of that, while you're farming in all those different PSE combat zones, you're going to be able to obtain Magnus Note, Lab Note, Rizola Note, as well as Ale Sovereign. So you will also be able to craft your High Ale Dominas as long as you farm enough in those combat zones. And of course, we also have the Gigas Mastes, so whenever there's a storm, you want to go out and kill those Gigantics in order to get your Giga Stat 4s over here. And then of course, you're going to need your Fusia capsules, which you can get from your Duel Quest Phase 1 in order to craft your Gigas Mastes. So basically, you're going to be farming in the combat zones, Rezel Forest, Vanford Laboratories, Mount Magnus all day, every day. And then once you get bored of that, you're going to go to the Duel Quest and you're going to be farming the Phase 1 Duel Quest over and over and over until you get a bunch of Fusia capsules so that you can craft all of these endgame capsules and sell them on the player market. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.